So Elphaba was meant to disappear in a puff of smoke and inferno, but a malfunction caused the actress Margaret Hamilton to burst into flames. The worst thing is, it's just one of several tragedies of 1939's Wizard of Oz, which makes you ask, was the set cursed? Wicked lands in a few days, but the original Wizard of Oz was never meant to exist. From start to finish, the film was nothing but chaos. Casts were hospitalized, directors quit, and there were rumors of abuse. So how did we get such a timeless classic? Richard Thorpe first led the film in 1938, but was fired in the space of 2 weeks because MGM hated his vision. The man didn't even pass probation. This was the first sign of the curse. See, the makeup department had this crazy idea. They were like, hey, you know what would really make our Tin Man look like a can of beans? Aluminium powder. And so they covered Buddy Ebsen in this twice a day. Just so you know, that's the same stuff in sparklers. Not only was he flammable, but breathing in aluminium powder is toxic. It's like eating sand endlessly. Those little particles found their way into his lungs and eviscerated them like Wolverine. See, now regular pneumonia is bad, but imagine little pieces of tinfoil in your lungs. Ebsen struggled to breathe and quit the project and was left with lifelong health complications. For some crazy reason, MGM were like, nah, we ain't gonna lose no money, and brought in George Cukor to realign the film like braces to teeth. The Tin Man's makeup was replaced with aluminium paste, which was slightly safer somehow. Dorothy was made to look like a human rather than a Disney villain. I'm talking Ursula. But George left in 3 days to focus on cult classic Gone with the Wind, and I can't blame him. He did what he had to do. As Victor Fleming took over to direct by November 1938, he began to create the Wizard of Oz we've all come to know. But it was during the filming of the Munchkin scene we almost lost the Wicked Witch. Elphaba's outfit is iconic. A broom, one of those Pharrell hats, cape from Batman, and just all round thickness. But the main part is her green face. Copper green face. The same stuff as Penny's. As Elphaba swears she will get revenge on Dorothy, she is meant to disappear like a demon from hell. Behind the scenes, a trapdoor is meant to fling open with her jumping through. As the scene began, Margaret Hamilton tried to pass through the hole, but it failed. The door had malfunctioned. Before she could even alert the team, the pyrotechnics began and every inch of her outfit was caught, leaving her with severe burns and out of action for 6 weeks. If this was in 2024, she'd be getting them PPP calls. But things got worse. Remember the aluminium paste alternative for Tin Man? Well, it got in the eye of replacement actor Jack Haley, causing him a severe eye infection, and the other cast were just beginning to suffer. So in the tradition of the crazy makeup, the department decided to glue Ray Bolger's rubber mask to his face. Glued to his face, because that is what would make the perfect scarecrow. Meaning after each shoot, they would have to peel the mask piece by piece off his face. Listen, I've had one of them peel off masks, and you know when that gets stuck in your eyebrow and it, ooh! Now imagine that with glue. Apparently it was so bad that the sticks and rubber left marks on his face for weeks at a time. But the lion played by Burt Lahr was almost brought to collapse. When I was researching this, the only conclusion I could come to was that they were trying to offend Common Sense and Peter, because they used real lion skin, which weighed a crazy 40 kilograms. Now imagine doing a TikTok dance under the hottest studio lights in existence for weeks on end. That's what happened to Mr. Barrett. The heat was so intense that Leo would stink up the set like that random guy at 8 AM on the tube. He even almost collapsed. It's almost as if this film wanted to be cancelled 100 years later. On and off screen, Julie Garland was going through the toughest of times. So remember, Julie was only 16 at the time, but the big bosses of MGM were like, you know what? You're gonna be the perfect Dorothy, so you're only allowed to eat soup and coffee. Listen, from when you're drinking dinner, the struggle was real. They wanted Julie thin and performative, so they gave her amphetamines to get through 16-hour filming days, and they balanced it out with sleeping tablets so she could get to sleep at night. It was so strict that anytime she would try to sneak food, they snatch it from her on set. And one time when she was laughing, director Victor Fleming struck her to make her stop. Not even Toto was safe. Toto was out here shooting 16-hour days, and he wasn't just vibing and getting pets. No, he had to react to cues and be in the right place at the right times. But even when he was, something bad still happened. In one of the scenes with the Wicked Witch's goons, one of the heavy-footed soldiers stepped on the pup, breaking its leg, putting it out of action for 2 whole weeks. It's cursed, okay? It gets worse. So speaking of the Wicked Witch, Margaret Hamilton's stunt double Betty Danko was also caught in a freak accident. So you know when the witch is flying on a broomstick with all of the chaos happening? That's half the film. Well, that broomstick had pyrotechnics so that it could spark and smoke, made by the same team who done the other pyrotechnics. Naturally, in a freak turn of events, the broomstick exploded and injured Danko's leg, and she never returned to shoot the rest of the film. By February 1939, Victor Fleming had left to also direct Gone with the Wind and was replaced by King Vida. Luckily for everyone, he had one job: just shoot somewhere over the rainbow and get us away for this traumatic film. Yeah, the Wizard of Oz was never meant to exist.